So I'm thinking a lot lately about the story of Adam and Eve. Okay, pretty much, even if you're not a Christian, you're familiar with this story. Um, God forms Adam out of the dust of the ground. Okay, he breathes into his nostrils. He becomes a living being. He creates the animals. He lets Adam name them. He says Adam is alone, so I'm going to make him a woman. I'm going to do this dude a solid, right? I'm going to hook him up. All right, I'm going to hook this dude up. He takes a bone out of his side, the rib. I think in the original version it just says a bone out of his side. It doesn't really matter. We basically whether it's a rib or not, we know it was some bone out of his side. Anyways, he creates Eve. Um, Adam and Eve are chilling. It's all good. You know, they're having a good old time. Satan shows up. Okay, the adversary, the accuser. Okay, the spiritual being. All right. He's like, yeah, man. God is cool, man, but the dude tripping, man. He a cool dude, but he kind of tripping, dog. He all right, bro. He all right, but he kind of tripping, dog. He keeping all the good knowledge and stuff for himself. What he talking about? You can't mess with this tree. Don't touch this tree. Man, what this dude talking about, man? Man, look, we can do it Yahweh or we can do it your way. Man, do it your way, not Yahweh. Okay. So Adam and Eve listened to this guy and like, yeah, this dude kind of he spits some knowledge and he kind of right. They listen to this guy, and of course they disagree. They don't follow God's commandments. Now, the thing is, man, over the years, I've always thought, if that was me, I wouldn't have fell for that. Okay. I wouldn't listen to Satan. Okay. I was like, man, get out of my face. Kick rocks. Okay. I wouldn't have fell for that. Okay. I wouldn't have listened to Eve if I was Adam. Okay. Or if I was Eve, I wouldn't have listened to Satan to begin with. I would not have fallen for that. But the funny thing about that though is, if you really think about that, we all kind of fall for that. Okay. Now I know that they say the word Satan doesn't always. Some people have the thing where they say this doesn't necessarily mean a specific being because it means the adversary or the accuser. And they have an argument that that term used throughout the Bible doesn't always mean the same spiritual being. I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. But here's the thing, man. I feel like all of us have in life have our Adam and Eve moment. We have our Garden of Eden moment. Okay, where we're getting tempted to do something ungodly by demonic forces. Okay. Like I said, I think a lot of us think that, hey, if we had been in that situation, we wouldn't have did that. Um, you know, the tree was a temptation for them. Okay. I've seen some people say that, oh, it wasn't an apple, it was a different type of fruit. Or, oh, it wasn't actually fruit. It wasn't actually a tree. It really meant this. It doesn't really matter, man. Okay. The moral of the story is that the tree, whatever it was an object of temptation. Okay. And Adam and Eve, instead of trusting in God, okay, trust to lean to their own understanding. And they listened to an outside force. Instead of trusting in God, they listened to an outside force and did not trust God and went against what God told them. Okay. We all do that. Okay. I I used to be very much into pornography. Okay. I used to watch a lot of pornography. Okay. That pornography is demonic. Okay. I believe masturbation is also demonic. Okay. But definitely pornography is demonic. Okay. There's a multitude of things that's done in pornography. Even though that particular word may not show up in the Bible, there may not be anything specifically in the Bible that says, "Oh, don't watch pornography on your TV or your cell phone or your device." All of those behaviors that go on in the pornography, there are tons of biblical verses against those behaviors. Okay, so that for me was my tree. Okay, okay, the pornography, the masturbation, all that stuff. but particularly pornography, that was my tree. Okay, that was my tree. That was my object. The thing that was appealing to me. I look at that tree, whether it's a literal tree or not, doesn't matter. Okay, it was something that was appealing. Okay, to these people to get their mind off God. To say, hey, I rather have this appealing thing than rather have God. Okay, I'm not going to trust God. I'm going to lean to my own understanding, and I'm going to go after this appealing thing. That's more important. This thing that appeals to me is more important to me than trusting in God and listening to what God is saying. So I feel like we all do that throughout our lifetime. Okay, when we sin, okay, we're saying that this object of our sin is more important than God or trusting in God. Whether it's pornography, whether it's sexual assault, whether it's going to your job and intentionally stealing your employees' money, whether it's beating up your wife, whatever thing you're doing that is not pleasing to God, you basically, that thing is appealing to you. So you basically said, this is more important than trusting in God. Okay. I feel like we all have our Adam and Eve moment. Okay. For me, one of the biggest things, like I said, was that pornography. And you say, okay, well, there's no devil in that. Okay, in the Garden of Eden story, there's a demon, a spiritual being directly talking to them. But I feel like, you know what, man, I feel like God talks to us in multiple different ways, and so do demonic beings. Okay, I knew a guy years ago who his friend would be constantly telling him that he should sexually assault his daughter, and he did do that, by the way. That was a demon talking through that man. Okay, that was a demon talking through that guy, telling him that he should sexually assault his young daughter. Okay, that was a demon talking to him. He was listening to Satan right there. Okay, um, I feel like we all have different avenues where God talks to us, and also where demonic beings talk to us. Okay, it doesn't have to be you in a guard in a spiritual being directly comes to talk to you. It talks, God and the devil talk through multiple different avenues. It could be your friend, it could be something you're watching on TV, it could be a book, it could be a movie, it could be music, it could be anything. Okay. It could even be it could be anything. Okay. Anything that you are focusing on that is telling you to do something that's demonic or against God, that's a demon talking to you. Okay. I don't care if it's a song, if it's a song that's promoting something ungodly behavior, racism, fornication, drug abuse, that's a demon talking to you. It don't have to. You don't actually have to have a spiritual being show up to you and say, "Hey, you should do this." Okay. Same thing with God. You don't have to see an angel talking to you. One of your parents, if a parent or a friend or somebody you know who's telling you to do something positive, I feel like that's God talking to you. So we all have our Adam and Eve moments. Okay, even your own mind. Sometimes you're sitting there and there's a situation where you're thinking, man, I should go do this. Or, man, I should not do that because that's wrong. I feel like that's God and the devil talking to you right there. Okay, through your own mind. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with that. But I feel like we all, every day, we have our Adam and Eve moments. So for me, I knew that pornography was wrong, but it was appealing to me. And I wanted to do it. Okay. I think we know why I wanted to do it. Okay. I wanted to see naked, attractive women uh, getting banged up by dudes. Okay. Okay. Or doing that naughty stuff to themselves. Okay. So that was the thing that took my attention off God. Just like in a Garden of Eden. That was the appealing thing. Whatever that was, whether it was a real tree or not, it's not important. It was something appealing that they put over God. Okay, so when we sin, And let me tell you something. You'll hear people, a lot of people tell you that sin is not pleasurable. Don't, nah, I hate when people say that. Okay, because if there was no pleasure to it, most people wouldn't do it. Okay, and it doesn't matter what that sin is. Okay, but for me, it was the pornography. That was my tree. That was the object of interest to me to say, hey, you know what? This is more important than God. Okay, or listening to God, because I knew the pornography was wrong. So my own subconscious, some element of my subconscious said, hey, you should watch this. It's good. That was the devil talking to me. Okay, and over the years, I've had people I've known, friends or relatives who, man, you should watch this porno video. Man, I got these videos, man. Come watch them, man. They so good, man. You should watch them, dude. Man, man, he be tapping it. He be hitting it, man. That was the devil talking to me. The devil talks to people, okay? Like I said, it doesn't have to be a spiritual being showing up. Both heaven and hell talk to you every day through multiple different methods. But anyways, so I started watching that pornography, man. I would have dreams about this very attractive black woman. I'd be having sex with this woman, okay? Always in a dream, okay? Now, I know some people think that any sexual dream automatically means it's demonic. I'm not certain I agree with that. But in my case, it was the same female over and over and over and over and over again, which was peculiar. And I'd be talking to the same woman. So after a period of time, I just gave in, man. I was like, because a lot of times what I would do is I would start watching the pornography, then I would stop and say, man, this is wrong. Okay. But at one point, I said, man, screw this. I'm just gonna watch this. I don't care. I'm gonna get my sex toys on, masturbate. I'm gonna do it up. I don't care. Okay. I even started seeing this woman when I was wide awake. Okay. We be talking, we be hanging out, we be having sex, doing all that. Now, of course, that being revealed itself to be a demon. I didn't care. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I did for a long period of time. I didn't care. I was like, whatever. I don't care. He even showed me what it looked like, really looked like. I was like, okay. I don't care. You know, it looked like a woman and it got titties and vagina, whatever. Okay. That just shows you how warped I was. Okay. So eventually, that thing starts. My opinion changed when that thing started telling me that it was going to kill me and take me to hell in a couple of months. It was like, yeah, you're gonna die. You're gonna be in hell with me. Yeah, it's gonna, yeah. Basically, I'm gonna screw you over. Okay. Then it started harassing me. It started harassing me more and more. Man, that's going to have to be a separate video. All the stuff that it was doing. Okay, but that was my Adam and Eve moment. Okay, that was the moment that I allowed something that appealed to me to take my focus away from God. Something that I knew was wrong. I didn't listen to God. And you say, well, God never directly talked to you. God does talk to you, man. Anytime it's something positive or godly, that's God talking to you, whether it's through the Bible or a preacher telling you to do something right, or a stranger, a positive song, a positive message. God talks to you through multiple different methods, just like hell does. Okay. But yeah, that was my Adam and Eve moment. Self gratification was my tree, and that took my mind off God. Okay. I knew I should not watch pornography. I knew it was a sin, but I was instructed not to do it, but I still did it. So that was my Adam and Eve moment. Okay. That was my tree. And that's the thing. Okay. And I was going to be punished. Okay. Of course, I repented and I prayed to God and asked for help or whatever. Um, but I don't know, it's just interesting to me how we are, like I would say, oh, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't listen to to Satan in the Garden of Eden. But we all have our Adam and Eve moment. And we all have our moment where something there's something we want, something that's pleasing to us, where God has told us not to do this, and that's more important to listen to trusting in God and listening to God. So we all have an Adam and Eve moment. It ain't just them. We all do this. Okay. I feel like if you look at most human beings throughout our lifetimes, we've actually repeated that story of the Garden of Eden. It's not the exact same way or the exact same circumstances, maybe, but if you think about it this way, that story was about two people trusting in God, and there's something that's actually appealing to them, and that thing that's appealing to them is more important than God and trusting in God. Okay, and you have an outside agitator coming in saying, "Hey, screw that, screw what Yahweh is talking about. You can have it your way." Okay, I feel like we've all done that at some point in our lives. Okay, at some point in our lives, it's been something to us that was appealing to us, and we got instructions. We got instructions. Okay, we knew what we were doing was wrong. Somebody told us it was wrong, or we've been taught that it was wrong. And instead of, focusing on what's right, focusing on what's pure, we said, hey, this thing here that I want that's appealing to me is more important than doing what's right. So I'm going to listen to this outside agitator, whether that outside agitator is directly a demon or some human being or some movie or TV show, a song that's promoting something ungodly. It doesn't matter. Okay. Still the same effect. Instead of doing what's right, I'm going to do what's wrong because this thing here is more appealing to me than what is doing what's right and trusting in God. So I feel like we've all had, throughout history, all of us at some point have had our Adam and Eve moment, if you think about the story that way.